So, so Martin and I had the kind of maybe rather obvious idea that one of us would write a line, and then the other one would write a line, and then the first one would write a line, and then the other one would write a line until we had enough lines. And my version of that idea was that we'd maybe spend about 8 weeks doing it, kind of quite nice and slow, and kind of sending something back and forth maybe every other day or so. But Martin's idea was that we do it all in 2 hours online, and it would be fun. And so that's what we did. Actually, it took us about 10 hours, I think. Yeah. So.
And we even invented a title in retrospect, but for some funny reason, the title shall be read first. The House of No Title. 1.
You can still lose yourself in a dark house.
A bright spot in an otherwise dark house can absorb.
Signals the house may mean to give,
pulling their legs in the direction of unprecedented outcomes.
So that a bright spot is the onset of a ghost, the start
of a marathon of walking miracles turned urban et orbi.
Sometimes
I too feel simply taken
by surprise. Familiarity is a fickle friend. What I think I know, in fact.
Come on, an uncommon comma turns commoners royally on.
What I think I know turns out to be of my making. Did I mention?
My mention I have on my mind.
Did I mention?
Overall.
A door I mentioned. Though I'm like a blind man, I cannot afford.
Avoiding a blind eye to avoid.
I cannot afford lighting. I grope along the balustrade. I feel my wife's face. I
feel it makes me accommodated in my overall heading. Clinging. You?
Me? As for myself, I prefer chocolate and vanilla to strawberry and
apples and pears.
But you digress. The point I wanted to make, the thread was
keeping the house together, the inhabitable point beyond oceanic railings.
This dark house that the dry waves break upon. When I was small,
I was stuck wondering how to keep swimming with my head cut by the surface.
Slit by its stiff meniscus. How soft the water seems with its panicky waves.
The defenseless element lures you to join its private parade of manifestations.
The dark sloshes about in the house, the deep dark.
Pitch, riding its waves, brings me to the matter of my youthful radar screen.
Does someone other bob and float and splash on the black air?
Fairy enough. Each of us details desire a prominent chair. Two. The slit cited in an underground comic strip
is the gnomic slit through which
decapitated figures freshly emerge in labyrinthine lives.
Being comic, strict and underground, their headlessness seems
more of a head-over-heels entry than a regular would find fit to account for
their appearance. Without their spattered heads, they have a tragic artlessness.
Of a flat kind of shark, elbowing his way to a sense of loss in the bloodless universe.
Embarrassed to have no canvas on which to depict embarrassment.
Of bounties in the fairish land of unaccountable volatilities.
So, being drawn, being born and head-shorn,
I grow daring to self-canvass.
To daub myself as I wish in colours of my choosing.
And rise to flee the trials of dim conspiracies, striving to hunt down the primitive.
Stick men, who came before us all scribbly and scratchy,
They mean business, as we stand barely still, mutually summoned and clubbed.
and drawn and coloured in and printed and sold and resold and pulped.
The issue of currency is being risen above all.
Other issues. Money being excrement, how can I wipe myself with it? How can I...
He raised the sheet I spatter, absent-mindedly drawn by the feel for the clearest of notes.
What shall we do with all this doodle dirt?
Acknowledge what we've done, and see that crude animate cruelest of months.
And then go back the way we came.